This is one of those questions that sounds simple on the surface, but when you slow it down, it exposes something much deeper about human nature, not just church history. There are many denominations because the Bible is perfect, not, but the people are not, right? So, and when imperfect people encounter truth, they don't all respond the same way. Some submit to it, some shape it, some protect parts of it, some avoid parts of it. Over time, those responses harden to systems. Let me say that again. Those responses harden into system. It's important to say this clearly. Denominations didn't appear because God kept changing its message. They appeared because humans kept disagreeing about authority. Who decides what scripture means? Who has the final say? Tradition, church leadership, personal interpretation, culture, culture and experience, or text itself. Early on, the core gospel was simple and unified. Christ crucified, risen, salvation by grace through faith. But as Christianity spread across empires, culture, and political systems, people started asking secondary questions. How should churches be structured? Who can lead? How should sacraments work? I will leave what that means in the comment this session. How much authority should tradition hold? How literal should certain passages be read? Those disagreements didn't come from the gospel changing, but from people emphasizing different things. Some denominations formed to protect truth, others formed to control interpretation. Some formed as reaction to corruption. Others formed because people didn't want to let go of certain cultural values. Over time, what started as clarification turned into separation. Another hard truth is this: people don't just read scripture, they read it through a lens. They read it through lenses. Culture, upbringing, trauma, power, fear, education, and even ego shape what someone notices and what they explain away, right? Two people can read the same verse and ask very different questions, not because the text is unclear, but because their heart are focused on different things. And then there's the uncomfortable layer most people avoid. Denominations often exist because unity requires humility. It's easier to start a new group than submit, listen, or admit error. When disagreement meets pride, division follows. The Bible itself warns about this repeatedly, right? Not as a future possibility, but as a expected human pattern. And what's striking is this: that Scripture predicted this. Paul warns about fractions. Jesus prayed for unity, knowing division would come. The existence of denominations doesn't surprise the Bible. It exposes us, right? It exposes us for what we've done in the past. It shows how easily humans fractured and when truth confronts preference. But here's the key distinction that matters more than labels, right? Denominations differ on many things, but the dividing line the Bible actually cares about is the gospel itself. Who is Jesus? What he accomplished? How salvation happens? When those are intact, Scripture still recognizes believers as part of one body, even if they gather differently. That's why Christianity isn't built on denominational loyalty. It's built on allegiance to Christ. Denominations are human structures. trying to sometimes faithfully and sometimes poorly to organize around divine truth. So the existence of denominations doesn't mean that there are many truths. It means there are many humans' attempts to handle one truth. And the quieter question behind all this isn't which denomination is right, but are we willing to let Scripture correct us instead of recruiting it to defend us? Because the moment the Bible becomes something we use instead of something we submit to, division is no longer by accident. It's inevitable. Mm-mm.